What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about my 2002 BMW 540i. I daily drive this car and it has over 200,000 miles. So if you're looking to get into daily driving an old E39 5 Series or even any old BMW, this is going to be a great video for you guys to watch. I'm going to let you guys know what it's like driving such an old BMW, the pros and cons and everything in between, usability, all the maintenance I put into this car, and overall if I would recommend it or not. So this is a 2002 BMW 540i with the very important 6-speed manual. That really makes this car, for me and a lot of other people, definitely completely changes the feel of the car and how it drives. But more importantly, this car has 220,000 miles, guys. So this is far from a garage queen car. This car has actually been used. It's been dailied. You know, it's been driven all over the country. And I can't say that I've taken it everywhere. I've owned it for about a year now or so. So I'm going to tell you guys everything that I've experienced with the car and overall if I'd recommend daily driving one of these cars or not. Now let's get right into the exterior of the car. You know, a lot of the older guys will say this is the best generation where BMW kind of hit its peak. It definitely has subtle design compared to some of the newer cars, obviously. I mean, just take a look at our front grills here. Compare that to the new 5 Series. They're a fraction of the size. Definitely a sleek car, kind of low-key. If you didn't know what you were looking at, you know, they all pretty much look the same. Even the M5s, I think they have the same chassis pretty much. They just have some different bumpers, different mirrors, obviously, kind of a lot of different things. But I think the overall chassis is the same. I don't think they got any wider wheel arches or anything like that. Might have to double check that, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I think these cars have aged pretty well and they kind of grown on me a bit. I didn't used to think they're the best looking cars per se. I was always kind of more of a 3 Series guys. Once I got this car, they've really grown on me. Just the overall simple lines that it has. It's just a really simple looking car. You got this nice line that just kind of goes throughout the whole chassis of the car. Of course, you have that legendary BMW build quality. The doors just make that really tough sound when you close them, very quality feel. Same thing with the interior. Timeless BMW rear end with the squared off tail lights. This car is fitted with some dine-in parts here and is also lowered as well on coilovers. So this is not the stock height of a regular E39. And as you can see, it's got some scuffs. My neighbor hit me the other day actually, so this is brand new. We got some scuffing here, but the paint on this car looks amazing for its age. I would say not too bad. And how many miles it has, you know, I go off of buying a car with how it's been taken care of versus the miles. So if it's something that I think looks good, like this car, when I bought it, I wasn't too worried about the miles. All right, guys, moving on to the interior of this car. This is probably, besides the actual driving experience of the car, my favorite part of these cars. These interiors are so comfortable, guys. I mean, it's really hard to beat them in my opinion. Even with newer modern cars, I think this interior is just built exceptionally well. And look how well it's held up. I know I've said it many times, but obviously this is a high mileage car. And look at this interior, guys. Of course, I have the black sport interior, which I think is a non-negotiable. Unless you get something, I guess there are some other cool colors. Just for me personally, I always just like to go with a nice sleek black interior, especially with a BMW. There's not even any rips or tears in the seats. And of course that also has to do with being well taken care of, right? The rear headrest here is missing a little thing. So like I said, it's not perfect, but overall, what a great interior. And even more importantly than the look of it, it is just so comfortable. I mean, you feel like you can hop in this thing and just make a drive across the country, not getting cramped up. And I've had quite a few other cars where groups and enthusiasts claim to have very comfortable cars, but I don't know, this has to be on my top 5 list. On top of that, the design just looks awesome. I mean, look at these door panels. You got the airbag built in here. Everything feels really good. I will say this door panel is a little bit wonky because inside here, this broke. this little clip that holds it on. So it's a little wonky there, but you got these unique side vents that actually just flow air right through that into the door panel here. Another really good thing to mention, something that I personally love about this car, is you got two pockets here, right? And there's quite a bit of room in these pockets. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can fit quite a bit of things right here and here. And then right here we have a nice little coin holder, which obviously you don't see stuff like this anymore in new cars. The only little thing I can see here on the driver's side is this right here, this little rip in the leather. Besides that, there's no tears throughout the interior. Taking a look at the dash, nothing. No cracks, nothing. There is this trim piece that is broken, which I actually broke that installing this radio, and I'll get to that here later in the video. Everything is just, you know, simple, easy to use, very driver focused. So we got this M Sport 3-spoke wheel, got some perforated material here, an Alcantara on the bottom, nice buttons on the wheel here, and then super simple gauge cluster here. Definitely something to look out for when you're buying one of these cars is the pixels. So they like to go out. You can see on my car, it's kind of darkening on that side, but these pixels do tend to go out. So that's a common issue to watch out for. Obviously we have our 6-speed manual, climate control. This is one of my favorite things about this car's interior as well. Even though it's something as small as this, I just love how they hid the cigarette outlet away, something like this. And then of course you have your two iconic cup holders here that are just very flimsy. Everybody talks crap about these cup holders, but honestly, I don't know if it's just me, because of I usually only drink kind of canned stuff or small water bottles, and I think they fit in here pretty good. And it does get supported by this little tray they have here. There's a really nice aftermarket replacement that you can put right here. It's just a regular cup holder. Also, one other thing I want to mention while I'm in the front seat, I want to talk about the vents. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of particular on my vents and what different cars, I mean, just kind of how they're laid out, how the air kind of flows at you when you're driving, and I think these vents are just great. You can really dial in. I know that might sound kind of silly to some people, but I don't know. I think it's an important thing, especially for long drives and whatnot. I guess I couldn't end the interior without talking about the center console actually. If we lower our e-brake here, this is probably one of the worst design parts of the E39 interior here. We got this, what looks like storage cover panel thing here, but actually it's just an armrest, and the only storage you really get is right here. So that is, you know, a little bit questionable. And then you have a little storage cubby right here, which I don't know what you would really use that for. And of course you got your old school cigarette ashtray right there in the middle. There's a lot of companies nowadays, a lot of aftermarket support you can buy for those things. But overall, guys, I mean, this still feels like a pretty modern car. The creature comforts in this E39 are just amazing. One of my biggest complaints I will say about the interior is if you have kids, I have not found any car seat anchors in the back seat, so that's pretty annoying. Feel wise, everything feels really good. Of course, super quality old BMW stuff here for the interior. BMW is always pretty good with their interior stuff, I would say. Plenty of room. You can see my seat is decently far back, and I have plenty of room back here. Headliner, all good, holding up really good. We got these nice kind of fancy looking side lights in the back. Looking at the back here, and there's quite a bit of room here. Of course, we have our pretty iconic toolkit back here, which is missing a couple tools. So this is some stuff that you get in an old BMW that I don't know if they come with any. I know they definitely don't come with a toolkit like that anymore. Illustration on how to stow golf bags. We have quite a bit of room. You can see that passover. Full-size spare. I never have much complaints, just for a small sedan car. It does everything I need it to do, and if you really need the extra room, these seats fold down. All right, now I'm gonna talk about one of the most important parts why most of you guys here, obviously the reliability of the car. To make a long answer short, this car has been pretty reliable to me. Hasn't been perfect, definitely hasn't been perfect, but I have only put around maybe $1,500 in maintenance since I've had the car. So that in itself, I think, is kind of a statement. Things I've done to the car, besides just regular maintenance, I had my throttle body acting up on the car, which was kind of a big issue, but then just apparently solved itself. And that might be from some underlying issues as well with vacuum leaks. I've had issues with vacuum leaks that I'm still kind of chasing around. And then I had an issue with the auxiliary fan, which was almost usable, but when you try to use the AC in the car, it wouldn't work. It would overheat the car a little bit when the AC was on. So I had that fixed, which actually the fan originally was very expensive, but I got that down to, I think I spent $150 on a new OEM fan I got off eBay from a low mile M5 actually. So I like to try and stick with OEM parts. Usually they last longer, but like I said when I was talking about before, just be smart with your parts, do your research, because a new aux fan was like $500. I'm pretty sure the one I had on this car was original and it made it to 120,000 miles or 220,000 miles, and the used one came off car with under 100,000. So hopefully that should be good for the remainder of the car's life with me anyways. Besides that, everything in the car has pretty much worked. I haven't had any other issues with the car. One good thing to mention is I have done the timing chain guides on this car, or I should say the previous owner had already done the timing chain guides on this car, which if you're watching this video, you probably know, or if you don't know, I'm telling you now, that's the biggest issue which you're gonna run into this car, which would be a catastrophic failure pretty much. If those completely go out, it's pretty much game over for the engine, and kind of got to start over from there. 540i's and the M5s, not as much with the M5s, but the 540i's are definitely known for having their timing chain guide issues. Besides that, a lot of people say that the M62 engines are the least reliable out of the bunch. Of course, the 530 comes with the straight six. The M54, I believe, straight six, same motor from the E46 and some X5 variants and what have you. Simple motor. People usually say that's the most reliable motor, but I can't personally speak on that motor, as I haven't had any cars long enough to get used to that motor. Of course, I have oil leaks, but all BMWs do. So if you're not worried about just regular BMW maintenance kind of stuff, I don't think this motor you should shy away from. I actually think it's the better motor. I see more E39 540s with this kind of mileage than I do the 530s. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or because they get better taken care of or what have you, but I personally would opt for the 540 motor. All right, guys, now I'm gonna get to talking about the actual drivability of this car. This car drives so amazingly well, and especially if you're not talking about M5, you can get these cars, guys, for so cheap, it's ridiculous. If you're considering buying one of these cars and you've checked the boxes on everything I've said so far, I would just totally recommend doing it. The driving experience of this car is just so superior for the price range you can get these in. I mean, this is a sub $5,000 car easily. I'll let you guys know right now, I bought this car for $2,700, and even though it has the miles it has, I mean, what else are you gonna buy for $2,700 $100 that performs like this car. And even more importantly, it's just really, besides the performance of this car, obviously it's not the fastest car in the world. It is older, and being an NA V8, at least here in Colorado, you know, they're not crazy quick or anything like that. Still definitely pretty fast, just for an older car. I mean, it gets up and goes. Like, I don't feel like I have any issues getting on the highway or anything like that. But man, this car really inspires confidence when driving, and you will immediately feel that. I don't know that I've had another car actually that makes me feel so confident in driving experience such as this car. And I've had some pretty good cars, guys. I've had E92 M3s. I would definitely say that's probably, it sounds crazy, but it's almost at the same level. And I've heard some other people say too that at least talking about this specific spec that I have right here, you know, the 540 with the manual transmission, with some good mods, you know, like an LSD diff that I have on here, different throttle body, things that really kind of liven the car up. It's not that far off from the M5, and I don't want to sound like that guy. I'm not saying it's M5, of course it's not, right? You know, there's a lot of different things between this car and the M5, but to be honest, from what I've experienced, it seems like it's just kind of the M5 dulled down. And of course, it's never going to be that car. You know, they're completely different cars. I'm not saying it is an M5, but man, you see what people say about those cars, and you just get a sense of understanding through even driving a lesser model such as this 540. You know, I've always liked newer cars too, but when I drive this car, guys, sometimes I just don't feel the need to have anything else, because it kind of just checks all the boxes for me. And if you're looking at something in this kind of class where you're wondering if this is going to do what you need, I mean, if you're not worried about the maintenance stuff, I can pretty much guarantee nothing else about this car is going to be disappointing to you. The handling, the feeling, also like the radio in this thing sounds absolutely amazing. For a 2002, you would never know. I mean, it puts a lot of the newer cars to shame. I don't even think I have any sort of sound package in this car. I know a lot of BMWs have, you know, you can opt for a better sound package. So you got that. You mix that with the comfortability and all these creature comforts they have in the car. Like, my AC works amazing. I have heated seats in this car. My heat works amazing. Not to mention, I really do feel like this is a little bit better than the but further generation cars. I think they got a little bit worse with some of this stuff, guys. But at the end of the day, I just wouldn't shy away from buying something like this. Just know what you're getting into, right? Now, also, while I'm here on the topic, kind of closing out on the video, if you guys need any E39 parts, I have quite a bit of E39 5 Series parts in stock right now. I'll leave a link to my eBay. So if you guys need any parts for E39 BMWs, I gotcha, and I should have more stuff in the future as well. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys like this sort of content. Definitely want to keep this car and do some more things to the car for you guys as well. Not only for myself, but to make some cool content on the channel as well. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, you know, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you have E39 5 Series, let me know what you got. Love to hear from you guys. So thanks for watching.